It's so interesting how much darker it gets when I switch it from picture to video. Just finished with Movement Lab and Philosophy on this Friday. I'm here at Kopang in Thailand. In my space. You see my space. Space. I'm sharing. I don't have my phone, which is a good thing. The exchange there is so different and it's such a takeaway. But as you see, I still, just like with a diary, I still like to take note, an imprint of the day, if you will. Today is Friday. Actually, tomorrow will be the first full week since I have been here. And life has been revealing. I've been extremely emotional since I've been here, but I'm an emotional being. Most of you who know me personally know this. The world that I'm from, however, doesn't always allow me to express the spectrum of my emotion, of my sensitivity, of my brand of. And so just being in Thailand, the people are definitely more of the formula of the prototype from which I'm from. You see them give homage and love, sanction and honor to just about everything, especially to one another. So when you come over here, please be pleasant, please be divine, because they share that energy outright with temples and altars and means of homage throughout each step, so you absorb that even if that is not of your personal ceremony, culture, ritual, reflection. It is of mine, and so it feels good. It feels very feels like home. Feels very welcoming on a different spectrum, no doubt. So when I come across these ways, when I come across these ideas that I've been harboring maybe all of the lifetime, and real time, people speaking them, being them, expressing them, I've come across a plethora of these women warriors, and please believe me, it's really not in the set that you would think. They're actually the most gentle, the most kind, the most giving beings you will ever come across, yet they're worrying as men, being a warrior against the set of this world by traveling the world, exploring the world, giving of themselves, absorbing of themselves, giving themselves the ceremony, the ritual. It's interesting how we all have these similarities and coming from these very, very different worlds, but these very different worlds all kind of harness similar energies at a certain core that no longer supports the soul set of certain divine energies coming through and making themselves known. So we're kind of running away from home, if you will, running away from these foundations, from these rules, from these sets that no longer serve us. And it puts us in warrior set. First of all, to see the love and reflection that one has for themselves, to dip out into this world, the concepts of what we think we know are so different. You can only feel them and know them when you move amongst them. So I give thanks for that. I give thanks for being in a space that is made up in its fibers of homage, of honor, of I want to say healing, but more so just life. I definitely feel like I've not missed the concept of life, but I am now revisiting or being given another portal into the definition of what life definitely can be. And it's interesting. Life is so strong and potent and actually quite fleeting. We were talking about these strong connections you come across, very strong. Can you imagine coming across and falling in love with a being, only to have to let them go? In some cases, in days, in weeks, days, sometimes even in a moment. Like, can I please get to know you more? And however, the universe just sees fit for life to kind of keep going. And in that stead, you learn to deeply appreciate what has been given. And you learn the fibers of what it is to walk away, to release, to let be, and to see what ushers in that space as you shift. Because as you shift, what ushers in that space is different each time. And so, yes, the lessons, there's so many. I stay up here trying to give word to, but it's, we do get so often. It's for me, and as I receive them and ingrain them into this prana, this life force, this being, this spectrum, I get to then digest it until it is fibers of my being and make it into a wisdom that is then later filtered out, to the immortals, to the masses, to the community. You know, there is a type of digesting that happens with those in the world who choose to, with those masters, with those shamans, with those gurus, which we all are, especially to the self, especially when we're exploring this way. Your main guru will always be the self. Guru, just that learning, that meaning from the darkness into light. You know, what do you consider your darkness? What do you consider your light? Some things that were your darkness are no longer. For me, things that were not my darkness have kind of shaded my way, and I'm to explore this world and find different sequences of light, of spectrum, of shade, of color, of exposure, right? So this is just my check-in on this Friday. What's today? July 21st. And again, I just actually went to a great ceremony last night. I forget the name of it. There's so many names and characters that are actually held in an ancestral realm, that is actually held in an ancient realm. So the ancient language has not gotten lost, it has just gotten hidden from us. And certain places use ancient language just as clearly as every day. And so I love stepping into those portals to see and to know. I enjoy living the sacred. I give honor to the sacred. I give honor to my ancestors, to my spirit tribe, to the all that know where I come from, right? I give thanks for being here in now times, but it's been made very clear to me that my soul has traveled throughout all times, right? And it carries its code. My particular code is that of ancient, because my way is to inflict a remembering, inflict a loving, inflict frequencies that are no longer really given on this space, this portal, like solid, in a solid. And so in the case of rememberings, you will be given the secret, the sacred ancient. You will be given the cosmos. You will marry the cosmos. You will be given time before time, time during time, and time after time, because there's no such thing as, and you're constantly shifting through these spaces, constantly. And so you learn the magic of what we call time. The perception is of nada, of nothing. So I really feel like I'm in a magical place where everything in my mind's eye, the conversations I have with myself, the concepts of how I want to be in the world, they're showing up for me here, and it's strong. It's strong. It's awakening. It's so strong, so strong, which allows me to know that I'm so strong, so strong. I'll even give you a secret since I've been here. I'm here in the midst of a dream, like quite literally, I am where I've seen myself to be in my mind, and I have been coming across conflict when it comes to means of like getting control of my monies and particular things that I'm used to kind of just governing outside of this particular world. It almost seems like it won't come into fold. So yeah, I've had my spaces where I feel a little weakened, but I realize like the universe always give you lessons right there, especially when it's not in a loop, especially when you don't control it, or the concept of what you believe to be control, your control, a control. It's there to push you to your edges, it's there to push you to certain points, to see what that spirit do, to see what that spirit gonna do, to see what that spirit been doing. And we don't always recognize it in these spaces. Allow us the clarity without interruption, without interpretation, without expectation. The inhalation and the exhalation, the inhale, the exhale, the inspiration and the expiration. And these are just some things that have been dropped into my world that now, the knowing, I know I've always known, and I get to use them. They get to be my kriya. They get to be my technique, my way, my offering. So mortals, I hope all is well in your world. Like I said, we just doing these like video sets, video diary entries, if you will. As I was laying here, I'm about to watch a little tarot, and then I'm gonna get into some personal practice. But nonetheless, I love you much, yeah? Yeah? My immortals, give thanks. Yawa. Ooh, I might go to the beach where they might be doing drumming. It depends on the weather, because it just finished doing. So yeah, we were in the middle of a cyclone. It was a cyclone. I didn't want to say a cyclone because I kept thinking about like the Wizard of Oz. And I've never really experienced a cyclone or thought it was just something extremely, and it is. We actually experience the winds and the rains. Like, you have to go indoors for like the last 2 to 3 days. But I heard the mention of the storm, and every time I went to go say it for myself, I was like, we're in a cycle. Are we in a cycle? We're not in a cycle. We are. But apparently Kopeng had a dry season, pretty dry season the last few weeks. And so this rain was expected. This rain is wanted. I'm not going to lie. I love me some rain. It allows me to kind of hermit and be in that space uninterrupted, almost without having to give explanation. And so and you may have heard me say in other posts, it allowed for the rest of me to show up. It did indeed. It still is. I don't want to let you down. And when I see you leave, if you get a chance, go see check the video Charge It. I believe her name is Emmy, Emmy. Beautiful young lady. I don't know where she's from, but she has that English accent, melanated sistren, and that song you kind of just heard me humming is called Charge It. I don't know the words right now all the way. You think that's gonna stop me from portraying it or from singing it? Nah. But check it out for yourself, because I guarantee you'll love it. I never wanna hit you down. Oh, never wanna see you leave. I never let you out. To charge it. I love you, immortals. I miss you too, immortals. I miss our flow, but you see me growing. You see me growing in these shadow places. I call it shadow places because you see this camera. I guess this is raw. I guess this is just raw. Raw. Alright. Namaste. Goodbye for like my third time. Again, I do love you, immortals. Please, act like you know.